Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jeff, waywardcitygames.com, and today I'm joined with Jesse.
Hey, how's it going? What do you got for us today?
Today, I have a fun little deck that I have coined Mako Mega Zoo. All right, so let's talk about the purpose of this deck. Purpose of this deck is to get this big boss Ordine on the field. Ordine is such a great card. For those who don't know what this card does, DNA Digivolve 0 from a purple and a yellow level 6. When Digivolving, now this is important, and this might be part of the reason why not a lot of people use this card, is the fact that it's on deletion, or excuse me, the when Digivolving effect to delete your opponent's board only triggers when DNA Digivolving. So when DNA Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher. A lot of people forget that. A great way to get rid of Death X's, other level 7s that might be annoying in your meta right now, and deletes all of their level 5 or lower. Then for each body deleted, recovery +1. That recovery is great, allows you to get fat security stacks, which we know we love seeing. And it also has a great on deletion effect. On deletion, you may trash top card to security stack in order to replay this. Now, I've discovered a wonderful little combo. When you play this from the trash with the on deletion, you can then suspend Mako to gain memory. That's both turns you can gain memory. It really manipulates the way your opponent plays the game. And in order to achieve that goal of being able to DNA Digivolve, I have the Lordknightmon to really help us get to that level 6 quicker. And you might be asking, how does Lordknightmon get to that level 6 so much quicker? For those in the BT5 meta, you might know this already, right, Jesse?
Yep.
But we can play a Knightmon with its when attacking ability.
So that's kind of the trouble that people have with Lord Knight, right? Is it's always, how do I get multiple level 6s of multiple color on the board quickly?
Exactly. So that Ordine might be really challenging, but for us, we figured out a pretty good way to get there. So let's check out the rest of the deck. All right, guys, let's get into the rest of the deck profile video. And today we're going to talk about the low end first, as I like to do when I lay out my decks. We're going to talk about our draw engine. 4 Demi V-Mons for the inheritable.
Well, let me guess what the level 3 is.
Can you guess what the level 3 is going to be? 4 V-Mons.
Love it.
The V-Mon Demi V combo is so great for drawing cards. It's great for additional pressure on your opponent. It almost makes it so they have to figure out a way to spend memory or attack it directly just to get rid of this threat while we're doing the rest of our combo. And what just a perfect Mega Zoo setup for us, right?
It's hard to find a better combo to run in any Mega Zoo.
It really is.
Yep.
I tried the Guillemon with the Gigimon, and the draw 2 was nice, but I found that this is just so much more aggressive because it's a permanent threat your opponent really has to figure out how to deal with.
Well, because the Gigimon's going to pretty much die every time, right? But the V-Mon just leaves a threat on the board, and it's just something to be reckoned with. Yep.
So now I do play 4 other level 3s. 4 Lucy's.
Those aren't level 3s.
They're almost level 3s. In fact, I can play them for 1 with this deck.
They're only level 3s when something can delete it.
I can swing with Lord Knight, play this for free and gain memory. I can play this for negative memory. So Lucymon, great card. Recovery +1 on play. It has the ability, if you have 10 cards in trash, which this deck can do pretty easily. You can reduce the cost by 8 to allow you to play this for cheaper. A great 10k body, also great for security threats there. Now let's move on to level 4s. That's it for level 3s. I'll even be quicker with the level 4s. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me. I hate level 4s.
Makumon. Mako, great level 4 for this deck. We're talking about a security Digimon that can pop out of security. And you know why that's useful? You have enough Makos on the field. All turns,
that memory.
Gain memory when this comes out. You can really force the way your opponent, you can change the way that they play and memory manage when this comes out of security.
So you're saying it's like getting a body and hitting a hammer spark at the same time.
Exactly.
If you got the Makus out.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's a great way to put it, Jesse. And not only that, this helps us really set up our combo because we play a lot of level 5s in this deck where we can Digivolve on top of this to then get up to our 6 quickly enough. Hopefully even Lord Knight to get our field building so we can get to Ordine even quicker.
And it's got that good inheritable, right?
It's got a great inheritable. Let's talk about that inheritable real quick. On deletion, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory.
And you have how many cards that can go on top of that are 2 colored?
I have a bunch of cards that can go on that.
At least 3 that I can think of.
Exactly. So first we'll talk about this level 4, Make Crack Vicious Mode. This card, great card. On play, when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. Now, what's great about this is you can use it. You can trash a purple. You can trash a yellow. If you trash a dual color, you get both effects. That whole bolt effects, which allows you to really control your opponent's field really nicely.
My favorite part about that is the when digivolving and on play. I like that you have the versatility to do both.
That's a great point. You can do both with this card. That's a very, very good card of this deck. Now, one might complain that the 6 DP is low enough, but there's a reason why 6,000 DP is so important, and we'll get into that in here in a sec. We'll talk about another 6,000 DP Digimon. I am playing 4 of the Magna Angemon.
Bags over here.
Yeah. Oh, I just love this alt art. It's too good. To be fair, I've had this since the beginning, though.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Yeah, we've been early adopters of that.
Early adopters. Yeah. On play, recovery +1. Yep. This is such a good card for the deck, and sometimes it's just going to be your turn 1 move, depending on if you go first or if you go second, depending on how much memory they give you. And it's also a 6,000 DP, which is important for a handy-dandy little card called Flame Health Scythe. Flame Health Scythe, such a great card, such a powerful card, really makes this deck go. If this hits in security, you got a level 5 on the field with these two to then be able to get to your 6s quicker, and it can delete an opponent's Digimon, or it gets them just low enough range where the next security they hit, they either, get deleted, or you can kill off any little small threats or blockers, or whatever. Yep, whatever the case may be.
Unfortunately, Mechanorimon's are just right there at that 6K.
Unless you play Tai, right?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our Black Blockers video coming up soon. And so I play one more set of level 5s. And there's a reason why, and I feel like this is pretty obvious. The whole point of our combo is to get this Knightmon out to the field. If you can get Lord Knight out quickly and you have Knightmons in hand, you can play Knightmon with the win attacking effect of our Lord Knight. Our Lord Knight allows us to get that level 5 on the board, such as Knightmon, so then we can get into our level 6s really quickly. The on-play effect of this is also really good. It snipes a body in case you need it to as well. Or if you just really need to kill an opponent's body and you want to just need 4,000 DP difference or whatever, this really helps you get there.
Yep.
So that's it for my level 5s for the deck. Let's get into the fun part, shall we?
Yeah.
Level 6s.
Level 6s. Here we go.
Level 6s. So this is a Mega Zoo style deck. With that in mind, we do play a lot of level 6s, more than probably the casual deck builder is aware of. But we play 4 Lordknightmons. Instrumental to our combo. Instrumental into getting our level 5s out on the field. Or you can play a Lucimon to heal if you really need it. It is possible to win games without the Lord Knight, but the Lord Knight definitely helps with that.
Yeah, for sure.
We also play, and this card I have been growing so fond of as I've been playing it more and more, 4 Ophanimon fall down modes. I have been really liking this card the more I've been able to play with this, and I think as you start to mess with this too, you'll start to see how great this card is. So Ophanimon fall down mode is a great level 6 for our deck, allows us to recover 1. All of our level 5s are yellow, right? So we're always going to be able to recover 1. The secondary effect of the purple may not always be triggered, but it can come up quite a bit.
And that happens when you go on the Maycrack.
When you goes on the Maycrack, exactly. And you get both when you go on the Maycrack. You recover and you delete. And what's great about this is there's a certain yellow tam that allows us to gain a memory when we recover. That allows us to keep this a 3 cost to continue our turn.
Right.
And that's really important for our combo when we talk about our next level 6.
And just a heads up, if you have the Maycrack and the Mako under that, how much memory are you going to gain when that thing dies?
You gain 4 memory when it dies.
That's insane.
And not only that, it's one of my favorite level 6s because it has an on-deletion ability. Play a level 4 or lower purple level 6. Or excuse me, level 3. So we're talking Makomon, and we're talking about a Lucimon as well. So when this dies, you get to play a free body. This is great, especially if you have the Mako out. You can gain memory when that is played. You can also start setting up your next level 5 to get into Ordinemon quicker. Okay, we're going to talk about our final level 6. And now this is a level 6 where I'm always on the fence if I should play 4 of. But right now, I'm only playing 3. The Ragul. The Ragul has been such a good card in this deck. Oh my goodness. I don't know how much you've been playing with this, Jesse.
Love it.
I love this card.
Yep.
This card on play allows you to play a purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP or less. Just like the Flame Health Scythe that we were just talking about, I can play a Maycrack, I can play a Magna Angemon, or I can even play a Mako with his ability.
Yep.
Right? And that really helps start setting up our combo. And another fun little version I found with this is that when your opponent has their Death X on board, what's great is this plays another body. So the Death X will then kill
the body,
the smaller body, not this. So that's also a really good tool. And if I really would like to figure out a way to go to 4 of this, but just the way the deck is, 3 has been really, really nice. So for those of you watching, if you find a way to go to 4, let me know. But it's definitely one of those toss-ups for sure.
Yeah, after looking over your list, I don't know what I would take out for that for a 4th.
All right, and the best part about this card is what, Jesse?
Oh, it's got to be the end of turn.
End of turn ability. End of turn. You may DNA Digivolve this Digimon, right? So that is instrumental to our deck's combo. Our whole goal is to get to this big, beefy Ordinemon where it punishes your opponent if you delete them, depending on what you have in your stack. Whether you have Mako, Crack, where you gain memory when it's deleted, the fact that it will keep coming back and will gain memory when it comes back, or whatever. This whole end of turn ability is what makes this deck work. Let's say you have the Lord Knight on the board, right? You go to 0 memory, you know, you've digivolved from a 5 to the Lord Knight. You swing with the Lord Knight. You get to play a Knightmon with its ability. A Knightmon will then appear, right? You can then digivolve that Knightmon into a Ragwell, because that end of turn ability does not specify on play or not.
Right.
That allows us to get to our Ordine as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Or let's just say you're having one of those games where you didn't quite get the Knightmon combo set up, but you got the Ophanny Fall Down on board. You got your Memory Setter Tamer, which we'll talk about here in a sec. You can hard play the Ragul and still trigger its ability. When that's great, because also the on play will allow you to play a little guy. It allow you to DNA Digivolve to the Ordine, clear your opponent's board. This Ragul is just so important to this deck as well. And to our next card, our level 7, we are playing 3 Ordines.
Only 3.
Only 3. I'm very torn on whether or not to play 4, but just room has been so tight in this deck. If that's something you find that you need 4, or something that you figured out a better way than I have to play 4, please let me know. But I play 3 because you have so much going on underneath where you don't necessarily need 4.
Yeah.
But, you know, 3 is very, very nice. It's great by the time you recover a bunch. You know, it could be in security as a 15k to delete opponent's Digimon. But, you know, generally once you get that one Ordine on the board, it's almost game over.
And it's rough to get started if you start your hand. If you start a game with 2 in your hand.
Exactly. So 3 Ordines has been really nice for me. So I'll stick with 3 for now. But it's just such a game-changing card. And just look how great that artwork is.
Super cool.
Super cool artwork. So great way to play Ordine, guys. Let's talk about now the rest of the deck. We're talking Tamers and options.
Let's go.
So Tamers. So I'm probably playing a little bit more Tamers than you probably would expect. But I'll start off with what I think is the most important Tamer in the deck. 4 Makos.
Yep.
Mako, such a great Tamer. For those of us that love Analog Youth, this is almost a better Analog Youth specifically for this deck. I wouldn't recommend,
color, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting this in every color, but for purple, yellow, great Tamer. This card allows you to get cards in the trash, what you need for Flame Hell Scythe, what you need for Ophanny Fall Down mode. And it also allows you to draw 1 card. You know, of course, if you hit the VMon, you don't get the VMon. Unfortunately, Analog Youth does have that over this. But this is just such an important card. I would not recommend running any less than 4. Let's just say your hand is absolute garbage, as sometimes Mega Zoo can be. This is a great way to get out of it. Lets you reveal 3 cards, pick the one that you need to get your combo going.
And it's only a 3 cost.
It's only a 3 cost. Mako is great too, because Mako comes out of security. It says all turns. You can gain memory. You can force your opponent's turn to end prematurely. So Mako, definitely a 4 of. I love this card. Our next Tamer. We're talking about this memory setter that also gains you memory when you recover.
Yep.
Kari. Kari is so great in this deck. I like it as a 4 of. It makes it so your Ophanny Fall Down mode when you Digivolve, it's only a 3 cost instead of a 4, which allows you to keep extend your turn to make the plays you need to make as well. Kari as well, especially if you have all 4 cards on the field, can make it so your Lucemon only costs 1 when you have 10 cards in trash. Not bad. A 1 cost 10k body.
Not bad.
Can't complain about that at all. So so many things you can do with this Kari and Mako combo, especially when you play Mega Zoo. For those of you who are familiar with the style, Mega Zoo, you don't see all of your cards anyways. You're not drawn through your whole deck. So it's not necessarily that you have to have all 8 of your tamers on the board. That's horrible for the Death X matchup. But it's more like you can get it quickly when you need it.
Yep.
Right? Because that being set to 3 is really important in this deck. Having that draw engine, having the ability to play Maycrack for less, Ragul for less, all good things to have in mind.
Well, and since you're running a blue base as well, you kind of want to have a purple and a yellow out at all times so you can activate Flame Hell Scythe whenever you want.
That is a great point. So you need to have this set up so you can play your Flame Hell Scythe. Speaking of Flame Hell Scythe, let's finish out the deck profile, shall we? So my last cards are 4 Flame Hell Scythe. Now, for those of you who have played Purple Yellow, you may be asking why I'm not playing Chaos Degradation. Chaos Degradation is a good card, yes. When you recover as much as this deck does, you don't necessarily want your opponent to recover as well for the security effect of the Chaos Degradation, where it gives your opponent a free security. But the Flame Hell Scythe really helps you in this deck. Ordine can kill all the big threats.
Right.
This deck can get to Ordine pretty quickly. Flame Hell Scythe is perfect for those small threats that Mega Zoo really sometimes has a hard time with when they can just, aggro with you a bunch of little dudes quickly. Flame Hell Scythe can pick those guys off, and it can play a level 5 from your trash, which is really important to start getting your combo set up. I would not recommend running any less than 4 of the Flame Hell Scythe.
I think it's best card in the deck.
Best card in the deck. You could argue besides the Ordine, which is the whole focus, right?
Speaking of Ordine,
yeah,
you have not mentioned my favorite part of that card, the on deletion.
On deletion. On deletion. For those of you who don't know, this on deletion of this Ordine is so powerful. On deletion, trash top card of your security stack, and you may play this without paying its memory cost. Why is that verbiage so important?
Because it's better than Millenniummon.
Well, not a lot of cards are better than Millenniummon. The reason why that verbiage is so important is because Mako gets triggered with an Ordine play.
Correct. Yep.
Doesn't matter what turn this dies on. All turns, when you play a 2-color purple and yellow, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory.
Yep.
So this card dies, right? And if you have the right setup, whether it's just 1 Maycrack underneath to gain you 2 memory, you can gain 3 memory when this is deleted and gets played again from trash.
And if we're talking Ordine, I mean, the reason I like it so much is because it's such a self-sustaining card, because it's when Digivolving action creates the situation in which it's going to survive for a very long time. Because when you Digivolve that Ordine, you're going to recover probably at least 2, maybe up to 4. So that thing is going to be around for a very long time.
And it's great. Once this body is on the board, it's really a countdown against your opponent.
Right.
Let's say you haven't gotten any of their security cards gone, right? At this point, it's 6 turns till game's over. If I keep swinging with this every single turn. But generally, by the time you get this, your opponent's halfway through your security, right? This is just the game ender. Just constantly swing with a 15k that just really is hard to remove. So.
It's also good against those Megadeth and Kikaitis Breath players because, sure, return it to my hand. It's a very dangerous thing to get Ordine back in your hand. Because they're not
give it back to me. I'm going to use it again. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here's the deck in all of its glory. If you like this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please stay on the lookout. We got tons more great deck profiles. We got great gameplay footage coming out with this soon. And we're going to conclude with that. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.